Amy, thank you for your hard work with the funeral.
Oh, Helen, yes, it was a beautiful service. I'm glad we were able to give George a proper send-off.
You really did work hard all those years with the caregiving.
I suppose so.
Well, enough of the sad talk. Let's discuss what happens next.
What happens next?
Yes, there's something very important we need to address.
What is it?
I need you to leave this house.
What? Why? What are you talking about?
You spent 15 years here as a caregiver. My husband is gone now. That means you're used up.
Used up?
That's just the reality. You were only allowed to stay here because you had a job to do. The caregiving.
I don't understand. I'm Mark's wife. That's not just a job.
You were never more than a convenience. I want you to understand that clearly.
A convenience? Helen, we've lived under the same roof for 15 years. I cooked, I cleaned, I sat with George through every bad night. That means nothing to you?
It means your debt to this family is paid, nothing more.
Leave? What does Mark say about this?
He's completely on board, obviously.
What?
My son is moving on and remarrying a younger woman. A childless, plain wife like you can disappear now.
Remarrying?
That's right. He's been miserable in this marriage for years. The only reason he kept you around was to have someone to take care of his father. But that job is done, so go ahead and get out.
This can't be happening. You're just throwing me away because I've served my purpose?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I spent 15 years doing housework and caregiving for this family.
Don't go patting yourself on the back for it. There were plenty of other women who could have done what you did. No job, no savings. A woman like that is only good for housework and caregiving anyway.
That's a horrible thing to say.
I'm stating facts. Hard to hear, isn't it?
I gave up everything for this family. My career, my friends, my own plans for the future. All of it.
Nobody asked you to be so dramatic about it. You chose to stay.
I stayed because I thought this was my family. I thought that mattered.
Then you were mistaken. Now stop making a scene. And by the way, this house was purchased by my husband. Now that he's gone, the right to inherit it belongs to me. Which means I am currently the legal owner of this house. And since I'm telling you to leave, you don't really have the right to refuse, do you?
Well, technically that's true, but...
Then go. I don't need you sitting here eyeing my husband's assets.
Do I really have to leave?
How many times do I have to say it? Stop stalling and get out!
But being told to leave so suddenly, I don't have anywhere to go. And moving takes time. I can't just...
Then move as fast as you possibly can. And if I think you're dragging your feet, I'll throw you out myself. Consider yourself warned.
Helen, can we please just talk about this calmly? I'm not asking to stay forever. I just need a little time.
The time for talking is over. I've made my decision and Mark agrees. That's final.
Is Mark even going to speak to me himself? Or are you handling everything for him, too?
Mark has nothing to say to you. You two are done. Get used to it.
Dad, are you home yet?
Just on the train now, but never mind that. You must be exhausted after the funeral. And all those years of caregiving, too. That was so hard on you. You sacrificed so much of yourself for that family.
I did work hard, but I never really thought of it as a sacrifice. When Mark and Helen started treating me coldly, George was the only one who stood by me. Because he was there, I felt like I actually belonged in that house. Taking care of him never felt like a burden.
I know. George must be so grateful to you.
I hope so. At the very least, those two certainly aren't.
Those two? You mean Mark and his mom?
Yes, Helen just told me to get out of the house.
What? How is that possible?
Now that the caregiving is done, I'm used up, apparently. And Mark is going to marry someone else.
They treated you like you were disposable.
Yes, really? What kind of people are they?
That's unforgivable. Then just leave right now. Come home. Your mom and I will welcome you with open arms.
I know, but I can't go just yet.
Is something wrong?
I have a few things I need to take care of, and I want to have one more conversation with those two. I'll give them one last chance.
You don't owe them that, you know.
Maybe, but we did share our lives for a long time. I should at least give them the opportunity to do the right thing.
Well, if that's what you want to do, I won't stop you. Just know that your mother and I are on your side no matter what.
Thank you, Dad.
Amy, can I ask you something?
Of course.
All those years, did Mark ever treat you well? Was there a time when things were actually good between you two?
In the very beginning, maybe. The first year or so. But once George got sick and we moved in to help, things changed quickly. Mark started pulling away. He'd come home late, give me the cold shoulder, and when I tried to talk to him, he'd just walk out of the room.
And you stayed through all of that?
I stayed for George. That sounds strange, I know, but he was kind to me in a way that Mark and Helen never were. He used to leave little notes by the kettle in the morning, thanking me for the previous day. Little things like that.
He sounds like he was a good man.
He really was. I'm going to miss him a lot.
I'm proud of you, Amy. I want you to know that.
Thanks, Dad. That helps more than you know. Dad, just checking in. How's Mom?
She's doing well, asking about you every day, of course. How are things on your end? Have you talked to Helen or Mark yet?
Well, not since I moved most of my things to the spare room. I've been keeping my head down. Mark walks past me like I don't exist. 15 years, and he can't even make eye contact.
That tells you everything about his character.
I keep thinking about what I want to say to Helen before I leave. Whether it's even worth saying anything at all.
What's stopping you?
I just want her to understand, even a little, that what she did wasn't right. That I wasn't just a tool they could pick up and put down.
And if she doesn't hear you?
Then at least I said it. I don't want to walk out of this house carrying things I should have put down.
I understand. Just be careful. That woman has a sharp tongue and no remorse.
I know. I'll be ready. Helen, would it be okay if I spoke with you for just a moment?
What is it? How's the packing coming along?
I'm making progress, of course, but there's still something I can't make sense of. I know that both you and Mark never really warmed up to me. Mark and I fought constantly after we got married, so maybe this outcome was inevitable. But you and I seemed to get along fine in the beginning, so why did things go sour between us? I can't recall a single argument we ever had.
Well, of course things went sour. Mark had plenty to say about you. Apparently, you were sloppy with the housework, and at some point you refused to even try for children. Failing at every duty as a wife, it was only natural I'd end up disliking you.
That's not true. None of that is true. I put everything into this household. And it was Mark who refused any intimacy, not me. I wanted children so badly.
That's obviously a lie. My son would never lie to me.
Helen, did you ever once notice me slacking off with the housework? Because no one ever pointed that out to me.
That's because you put on a good show in front of me. But the moment my back was turned, you showed your true colors.
We lived together for years. Do you really think you wouldn't have noticed? Please, actually look at who I am. Don't just let Mark's version of events be the whole story.
Oh, I've heard enough. If Mark says it, then it's true. Why on earth would I trust some outsider over my own son? Stop saying ridiculous things and just get out of this house.
I'm disappointed. I thought we had built at least some real trust between us. But no matter how many years pass, I'm still just an outsider to you.
Of course you are.
Helen, do you remember the winter 3 years ago? George had that bad bout of pneumonia.
What about it?
I slept on the chair in his room for 4 nights straight so I could monitor his breathing. I didn't want to miss anything. You didn't come once. Not to check on him, not to spell me for even a few hours.
I was tired. I'm not young anymore.
I'm not accusing you. I'm asking you to remember it, to see it clearly. Because the woman you've been describing, lazy, selfish, negligent, that is not who sat in that chair for 4 nights.
Ugh.
I suppose George really was the only one in my corner.
That man was never very bright. Why he doted on someone like you, I'll never know. Was plain women his type?
Helen, George is gone now. Please, don't speak badly of someone who has passed.
He's dead, so I can say whatever I want. I married him because he had a good income, and then, out of nowhere, he had a stroke and became a care patient. Honestly, it was a nightmare. If it weren't for you, I would have dumped him somewhere and washed my hands of it. I'm so relieved that dead weight is finally gone.
Helen, I don't care what you say about me, but I will not tolerate you speaking about George that way. He was the reason I was able to survive those dark years.
That's not my problem. The only thing I ever expected from him was to leave behind a decent amount of money. Beyond that, he was an unnecessary person.
How can you say that? He was your husband. He was Mark's father. He was a person who deserved to be loved.
Save this speech. Nobody needs it. Once you and my husband are both out of the picture, my son and I can finally start our happy life. So just get out already!
Understood. I'll leave as soon as I can. Honestly, the main reason I stayed this long was for George's sake. Take care of yourselves.
She's finally gone. Before you go, you need to sign the divorce papers with Mark. My son is going to remarry, and he can't do that until you're off the paperwork.
Could I possibly talk to Mark directly about this? We've been living under the same roof and he hasn't said a single word to me. I can't get through to him.
Obviously, the divorce is already a done deal. There's nothing to discuss.
He doesn't have the courage to face me himself, does he?
He just doesn't have anything to say to you. There's a difference.
Helen, after 15 years, doesn't he owe me at least a conversation? Even a short one?
He owes you nothing. That's the point.
I see. Understood. I'll take care of the divorce proceedings right away.
Good grief, hurry it up!
I'll handle it in the way I think is best. Please, be patient.
Don't take too long. Mark's future is waiting.
I understand. I won't hold things up.
Hey, pick up your phone already!
What's going on? You've called a dozen times and left a voicemail crying. What happened?
It's about that will you sent over. We need to talk.
Ah, you've seen it then? George gave it to me before he passed.
Is that really something my husband actually wrote?
It is. It's a notarized will, so it's fully legally binding.
So it's true. The bulk of the estate goes to you?
That's right. Most of George's estate has already been transferred to my account. What he left for you and Mark is the house.
You've got to be kidding me! There's no way I'm accepting this! What did you do to make this happen? Did you seduce him?
Seduce him? You've been calling me plain and ugly this whole time. Do you really think someone like me can pull that off?
But this makes no sense!
Does it? It seems perfectly reasonable to me.
Why?
He became a care patient, and his own family abandoned him. Wouldn't any person want their inheritance to go to the one who stood by them, not the family who turned their back?
Well, but...
Are you satisfied with that explanation? Then I think we're done here.
Wait just a minute. I am not satisfied. You got his entire estate, the savings and the life insurance payout. You can't just keep it all for yourself. I devoted myself to that man too.
Where? You dumped every aspect of his care on me and treated him like he was a burden the whole time.
I never did that. Regardless, give me that money right now. What good does it do you?
No, this is a keepsake from George. I intend to hold on to it with the utmost care.
A keepsake? That's millions of dollars you're calling a keepsake.
Then it's a very meaningful one.
Don't mock me. That money belongs to this family.
George decided who his family was. I think his decision speaks for itself.
Don't you dare mock me! I'm telling your family about this!
Why would you bring my family into this?
I wonder what your father would think, knowing his daughter pulled something like this.
He'd think it was completely fair.
Then I'll tell him myself, directly.
Please, don't say anything strange.
I'll just tell him the truth. Frank, I need to speak with you.
Oh, it's been a while. Is everything okay?
Your daughter has stolen my husband's estate right out from under us. We're in serious financial trouble because of her. When I brought it up with her, she had the nerve to say she just followed the will. What are you going to do about this? You need to tell your daughter to return that money immediately.
If a valid will was left behind, then distributing the estate according to its terms is entirely proper.
You don't understand. My husband was deceived into writing that will.
Deceived? What do you mean?
Amy targeted my husband's money from the very beginning. Once he became a care patient, she pushed all the caregiving onto the rest of us, and just bided her time waiting for him to die.
But if that were true, the estate would have been distributed normally to your family. The fact that he left it to Amy sounds like an expression of gratitude for the care she gave him.
She seduced my husband. That's why he was fooled into leaving that will. That's why I'm saying your daughter is despicable. As her parent, make her apologize and return the money.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Don't be so blindly protective.
I love my daughter, but I believe I'm looking at this with clear eyes.
What do you mean?
I visited George in the hospital several times.
What?
I wanted to thank him personally for all that Amy was doing. While I was there, he told me directly how grateful he was to Amy and how poorly you two had been treating her. Apparently, you never once visited him during his entire hospitalization? And you have the audacity to claim you were devoted to him. Honestly, I'm at a loss for words.
That's some kind of misunderstanding.
I heard it from George himself, and in all the times I visited, I never ran into you or Mark once. That speaks for itself.
We were busy. Life doesn't stop just because someone is in the hospital.
He was your husband of over 30 years, Helen. Life should stop for that. Amy was there every single time I came, changing his sheets, reading to him, making sure the nurses hadn't missed anything. You want to tell me that woman was there for the money?
She must have known about the will.
She didn't. George told me himself that he hadn't told her what was in it, only that there was something set aside for her. He said he didn't want her care to be about the money. He wanted to know it came from her heart. And it did. Amy inheriting that estate was a gesture of gratitude. She has every right to it. There's nothing more you can say to me that will change that. And I understand Amy and Mark are getting divorced. Once that's finalized, you'll be strangers. Please don't contact us again.
Wait.
I'm asking you, with respect, to stay out of our lives from this point on.
Damn it, your father just hung up on me.
Of course he did. I haven't done anything wrong. And you did inherit the house, Helen. That property is worth quite a lot, you know.
I was counting on a lot more cash than this.
Then you should have actually cared for George when he needed you. You took him completely for granted.
Don't lecture me. I bet you're feeling smug because you've got that inheritance and don't have to work a day in your life.
Actually, no.
Hmm?
George gave me the envelope with the will about 6 months before he died. I never opened it. I kept it sealed and stored away. I didn't find out what was inside until the day he died. He made me promise to open it only then.
So you're saying it was just luck?
I wouldn't call it that. Losing George is still the deepest grief I'm carrying. But I did know that once he was gone, I would need to seriously rethink my relationship with the two of you. And yes, leaving was always something I had considered.
Give me a break. You had no job. What were you going to do?
Actually, I have been working.
What? How? With caregiving and the housework?
The caregiving industry is short-staffed, so there are plenty of part-time shifts available, even just 3 hours a day. There's actually quite a lot of that kind of work.
And you were doing that?
I was. The hourly pay is decent, and I've been steadily saving up. I always knew the day would come when I'd be on my own.
So even without the inheritance?
Right. For now, I have no plans to touch that money. I intend to keep it safe, as a keepsake from George.
If you're not going to use it, then hand it over!
Absolutely not! George left it to me precisely because he didn't want it in your hands. Out of respect for him, I will never, ever give it to you.
That useless man didn't even leave proper money behind. A complete failure as a husband.
And you two were a complete failure as his family. You neglected him for years.
Shut up! I'm done talking to you. I never needed his money anyway. My son's income is plenty to live on. And with a freeloader like you out of the picture, we'll be just fine.
I see. Well then, this really is goodbye.
It is. Now disappear.
I'll be sending over the divorce papers.
You haven't sent them yet? God, you're slow.
I'm sorry. I needed some time to speak with my attorney first.
Attorney? What attorney?
I needed to file for damages against Mark.
Damages?
Yes. Mark is remarrying, correct?
Well, yes, but...
That means he was involved with this woman while we were still married, doesn't it?
I mean, I don't know the exact details.
I do, actually. The moment you mentioned the remarriage, I hired a private investigator. Turns out, it's been going on for quite a long time. I feel foolish for not seeing it sooner.
But damages, that's...
I'll be pursuing it fully. You'll receive the divorce paperwork in the mail. Please sign and submit it.
Hold on! If we have to pay damages on top of everything else right now, we won't be able to survive.
Then sell the house. That should cover it.
Are you serious? Don't you have any compassion? We shared our lives together for so many years. Couldn't you just show a little mercy?
Mercy? This is coming from the woman who cut me loose the moment George's funeral ended.
I know, but if we lose the house too, I don't know what will...
That's not my problem. Figure it out yourselves. Every single day while I was caring for George, I was thinking about my future. Did you ever stop to think about yours?
I never thought things would turn out like this.
This is the consequence of your own choices. Please sit down with Mark and think seriously about your future together. Although, isn't this what you wanted?
What are you talking about?
You said it yourself. Once George and I were out of your lives, you and Mark could finally have your happy ending together.
I mean, that was...
Of course, the reality is that it's not just me and George who are gone. It's the money and the house too. But that's not such a big difference, is it?
But please reconsider. Come back home.
Never. Now I'm the one who gets to be free of you and finally build a happy life. Please, don't contact me again.
Amy, is it all settled?
Yes, Dad, it's done. I sent the divorce papers. It's finally over.
Still, things could get messy if it goes to court.
I'm not worried. I'm ready to see it through, whatever it takes.
I see.
For so long, I kept telling myself that time would fix things with Helen and Mark. I thought, we're family. Eventually, we'd find a way to understand each other, but now I know that was never going to happen. This whole experience taught me that you have to be intentional about who you give your heart to.
You're right. People don't change as easily as we hope. I want to ask you something honestly, Amy.
Go ahead.
Are you okay? Not with the legal side of things. I mean, really okay.
It's complicated. Part of me is relieved, lighter than I felt in years, honestly. But another part of me is grieving, not for Mark or Helen, for the version of that life I thought I had.
The one where it all meant something.
Yes, where the years I put in were worth something to the people I gave them to. George made them worth something. He saw me. He appreciated me. The rest of them never did.
Then hold on to George. Let the rest go.
I'm trying to. I really am.
Your mother wants you to come for dinner on Sunday. She's been cooking your favorites all week, just in case.
Tell her I'll be there. So right now, the people I'm choosing to cherish are myself. And you and Mom.
Thank you, sweetheart. That means the world to me.
After everything, Amy's divorce from Mark was finalized, and she was awarded damages in full. At first, Mark tried to pay them out of his salary, but supporting 2 households proved too much. In the end, he and Helen were forced to sell the house and put the proceeds toward what was owed. Needless to say, the remarriage fell apart entirely. With everything stripped away, Mark and Helen moved into a small apartment. Helen took a part-time job to help make ends meet, but the financial strain wore on them both, and the stress found its target in each other. The two who had once been so close now argued every single day. Amy, meanwhile, moved into a new apartment and started her life fresh. She transitioned into professional caregiving full-time, and the skills she had developed caring for George made her an invaluable presence at work, deeply respected by her colleagues. She and her parents talked often about living together one day, and she set aside a little money toward that dream every month. Somewhere up above, she liked to think George was watching and smiling.